I wonder what all the people who dislike the music are already like all mad about. What is the problem? It's just some music. Howdy, everybody. K, Brad, Rotaro, of course, Leo. Hi, Christoph. Hi, everybody. GK, it really seems we're quite a few people this time around. So I think it's going to be quite private. I guess people don't want to know what's going on in the market. I guess they know everything. So, alrighty, let's get this show on the road. Feels fun. Feels fun. All right, so I guess we're gonna skip the 1 minute because we usually do. Although we're like, what, 27 minutes away from market close. This could be somewhat indicative of what we're about to see. Looks more bearish than anything, but come on. It's, yeah, let's not hyper focus on that. Let's focus on the 5 minutes. That makes a lot more sense. Still bearish though. Still bearish. Still seems like even though we're going for this bit of an entanglement, a bit of a cool off from the downwards movement, which kind of makes sense. But okay, sure, fair enough. I mean, again, let's not dwell on the shorter time frame momentum because it's gonna flip over, and we not retain these trends for all that long. We're probably on our way testing this bottom, which is roughly, let's call it 58.18. More so, let's probably rely on this previous gap support, which is 58.15.04, as you can see. So, and that's probably going to be an area we're going to retest. Let's look at 30 minutes. 30 minutes, I have a whole bunch of junk here. Let me just get rid of this stuff. Alrighty, so what are we seeing here on the 30 minutes? 30 minutes is a lot more bearish than what we can see. Again, we're being already in oversold territory, already starting to see a bit of that beginning of the movement, basically, which was represented by this. We can see this sort of the curvature starting to flatten and then overturn, being accommodated by this big hint that we had in advance. So not all that surprising. 45 minutes again, oversold territory. We kind of knew that was coming. We're very steep though, very nice sort of rapid beginning to the whole story, but it seems from here on out we're far more bearish than we are bullish, and we'll see how long we're going to be testing the oversold territory. The more we expand, the further out we see, and the more bearishness we're seeing, the more scary it is, I guess, or whatever. I mean, you define it as is, but basically more bearish. And yes, this entanglement, the convergence and divergence of the forces, giving dominance to the bearish momentum, basically giving way to the red line right here, or rather what it more so focuses on is in the loss of the bullish momentum, if anything. That is that, pardon me. Okay, so again, not too indicative, but does not look all that great. Let's be honest. Now let's look at the daily. Daily is actually basically made its way all the way to oversold territory, now having a bit of a relief, a bit of a cool off. Again, convergence, divergence, giving way to the bullish momentum. So not all that surprising that what we really got is a beginning of a correction and a bit of a cool off to the whole process. And if you're attentive, what you're going to realize that actually we moved quite low and then quite high. I mean, we moved all the way to 57.60, call it 57.60, and call it 58.60. So about $100 within that entire range. Now became a little bit more flattened, and we're seeing a little bit more bearish momentum, giving us a hint that we're at least going to test this location, which is roughly 5,800 and in the vicinity. Okay, that's the daily. Let's go over the weekly. The weekly appears to be actually rather bullish. The weekly says, look, we are potentially gonna get into overbought territory right here. We're gonna see how it all gets summed up in the next following 2 days. But I told you, and I warned you about this, what we're going to see is a combination of a lot of smaller time frames indicating that we're going to correct to the downside and we'll never truly make it over the 80% and basically start breaking down, almost generating this downward slope on the indicator, right? Indicating a breakdown of the trend, because if you would have been able to recognize, this entire thing represents a trend of its own. Now, Okay, so that was weekly and monthly. I mean, I don't really have to say much about the monthly simply because not a lot has changed since, right? If we want to be objective about the whole thing, we are still seeing the same old structure that implies that we're about to overturn and become tremendously bearish. Right now, we're, if you will, objectively more bullish than bearish, but this is a structure that is very indicative of a correction and a turnaround. I think, what do we have now? SoFi and PayPal. Is that what we're about to have? No, we already had SoFi, right? We already had SoFi. What do we have today? We had SoFi, PayPal. I'll have them open right now. But yeah, we can look at tickers if we want to look at tickers right now, since we kind of ran through all the smaller, all the important time frames that we have on the vastness of the market, the S&P. That's kind of, very indicative of what the vastness of the market will do, regardless of some slight discrepancies up and down. We saw SMCI today take quite a dive. Regulatory issues and so forth. Will that hold? Actually, I would argue that in terms of how the chart is structured, it is far more indicative of a correction to the upside than at least an attempt to actually move all the way back to that 48, 49 range, because there's a gap that was generated, at least on the daily time frame, and a lot of the bots will be magnetized to close that gap, or the gap that they perceive to be a gap, really, because it wasn't truly a gap. As we see, it's just perceived to be so, because in the pre-market, not all the bots are programmed to care for what we do in the pre-market and post-market. Some of them actually ignore that on purpose, considering that some of the people will be trading into the gap, basically, and the bots amplify the effect while themselves riding the process. And in fact, we're starting to see hints of that correction being oversold, and seeing convergence and divergence here, giving us a hint of an upwards movement. I would argue the first step would be at least matching that 37, potentially testing that median 44. Our SMA just goes sort of conveniently creeping up right from below towards that median, which puts us at 44 range. So there's more much to do. How high do you think SQQQ will go? Okay, why aren't you not showing up on Discord and discussing this question? No. We don't discuss this question here. You know exactly what's the shtick. Okay, show up on Discord, hang out with us. I usually try to show up for market open hours, right? Depends if I'm not having a student or something. Yo, mama, what's up? Good to see you. And join, and don't expect me to remember your last question. Join in and say, yo, Greg, this and that, and we can talk about it then. I'm trying to get some money so I can afford you. Stop it. Okay, don't focus on affording me. Focus on learning more. Our community and the Discord, shout out to Discord, by the way, we've done some house cleaning. Those who are not aware, we actually have taken out a significant chunk of our members. Tom and I decided that members who are inactive and all sorts of things should be terminated, at least temporarily. So a lot of people got kicked. So now we're down to basically 17,000. But that's a good thing. It cleaned up a lot of scammers and a lot of all sorts of stuff that we had going on. Potential or spy accounts, rather, the reporting for scammers. So things have become a lot more quiet in terms of on that front. So we're actually considering doing some changes to the Discord. So yeah, join the community. This is where we hang out. This is usually where we particularly hang out, in the open forum. And okay, I don't have to tell you, there's so much value to the community outside regardless of the academies. Shout out to Tom's Value Academy, which is a tremendous value resource that can actually teach you how to evaluate companies properly, go through the balance sheet, understand what the company is worth, and structure a potential DCF and DCA, and know how will and the potential DCA plan as well subsequently to your DCF. So in while of MCI, things are getting more shady. Yeah. I've heard you had the executives quit. So Again, no, it's I don't remember. I think we just spoke about them the other day, and I remember I think I said they're going for a correction. I don't really remember. I mean, I can reanalyze them, so re-go over the chart. But now it's going to be sort of problematic because it's going to show a big portion of what has already happened. Based upon what I'm seeing here, I was probably predicting an upwards movement before I was predicting a downwards movement, if anything. So I think I was predicting basically some form of a upside, downside, but then eventually with the rest of everything. Downside, yeah, but this looked to me probably more positive than negative, right? Um, Over the long run, not necessarily in the short term. In the short term, I was probably saying and emphasizing that probably something is gonna happen soon. In the long run, it's probably gonna be quite valuable. In the shorter term, you're gonna have a shorter range correction. We're looking, on the range maybe of the weekly, then more of a severe breakdown, something akin to what we're seeing. That's probably what I expected. I probably expected to hit the higher ranges, which is probably 51, 52 before going to the lower end. So I guess I was premature on that one. I did expect this to still accelerate and squeeze more out of this before it corrects, and here we go. So we already started a correction. Do I think we're going to correct back to the upside before actually moving downwards? Yes, I do still think so. I do still think we're going to retest these 48, 49s unless the market will break, which we might see within no time based upon, upcoming elections and all that wonderful blah blah. That is that. Yeah, things are getting more shady. True. I mean, maybe they know something we don't know. Maybe they know that something that is coming they cannot solve, resolve, or whatever. Issues in the pipe, So that's it. That is what we can say about SMCI. Palantir, our beloved Palantir, nothing all that special. Just like I said, 45, tracing back to 43.36, which we know to be a very strong support and a resistance level. In this case, it's going to play the support role potentially because, look, we were testing it as a ceiling, transitioned the whole level higher, tested it, retraced, we got rejected, and it's not going to be all that surprising if we're going to land right on top because this support was confirmed, unless we're going to eventually get rejected downwards, which I warned you about. I think eventually will come. Will it be this the beginning of that movement to the downside and we just continue tumbling this way? Guys and girls, let's not be biased. Things don't really work that way. It could end up being the scenario, but very unlikely. Of course, I stretched this to death. That's not the case, right? Just not for you to misunderstand. But more so, I'm trying to emphasize how the market will easily move into these formations, retest some of them, and eventually, after retesting them in this wedge, eventually then getting rejected, right? I'm not talking about this highly prolonged process. It might take, days, weeks, no longer than that, objectively. That's it. By the way, those who are not really regulars here, or tremendously appreciate if you smash the like, if you press it gently, give it a pat on the head. It does really quite help. My channel is not really yet monetized. I guess something with YouTube not really liking creators from Israel, I'm assuming. I'm just assuming that's the case. That's what I'm starting to feel here. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm just accusing them for no good reason. Maybe I'm a moron and an asshole. I don't know. Could be. We'll see. It's just that it's taking them forever. So this channel ain't monetized. Yeah. You can support the channel though by joining the Patreon, which is great because you're gonna get plenty of value, plenty bang for your buck. You're actually gonna be able to then participate in the Zoom calls we do, in the Hangouts I do, in the Hangouts on the daily basis that we can basically have, and you can join at any given time and have far more access to me. Here is the link. It's in the chat right now. You sign up. It's only $10 a month. Cheapest way to join our Discord. Don't forget to join Discord because all the benefits are on Discord. Okay? Warning, there are all sorts of scammers and bullshitters pretending to be me or Tom. Okay? So be aware, and we're not going to reach out to you out of nowhere and start giving you offers to crypto and copy trading and all sorts of weird stuff like that. So that's if you get that, that's not us. That's some scammer trying to bullshit you. So wish him all the worst life can offer and block him. Yeah. 20 people watching, 11 likes. It is what it is, Leo. It is what it is. I cannot force people. I can only ask politely, which I do. I would tremendously appreciate that still. Right. I guess. We kind of rammed through the whole thing this time around. So, I don't think we're gonna see a lot more price action. That's fascinating, and I really do think we're up for a couple of very boring days, unless we're gonna have, even the more volatile movement will seem as if it's volatile. If you zoom out just a tidbit, you're going to realize we've been moving in a channel, and yes, we deviate one way or another and all this noise, but it's noise. Really, we've been moving within this channel for quite a, oh my God, cannot draw to save my own life. Okay, that's kind of bearable. Okay, we'll take that. Okay, so we've been moving in this channel, give or take, since pretty much the 11th that we've entered the channel, even prior, yeah, 11th of October. And more so, if you zoom out, you're gonna realize the entire movement is basically a very, very shallow kind of movement. That again, the more you zoom out, the more it seems as if you're moving sideways rather than actually to the upside. Over the longer periods of time, yes, it feels very volatile and very excessive. But all in all, I gotta give it. It's impressive, but not all that bullish, really. That is rather tame. Next level, good to see you. Next level, come on. Every time I invite you to come on over and talk about gold with me and you don't show up. What is this next level? What's going on? How are we gonna resolve this one day? I got loading screen only. What do you mean no loading screen? Boys and girls, you are seeing the screen, right? No loading screen. Next level. YouTube doesn't like me, I'm telling you. Doesn't want to show anything. Alex, hello. Hi. Welcome. Alex Warshavsky. I don't think I've seen you here around. Welcome. Go ahead, boys and girls. I think now is time to do some tickers before we adjourn the meeting. Because, there's not really much to cover. The market is rather tame, as we said, right? I don't want to waste your time here. Just, looking at nothing. No, Leo, we can't see anything different with the Qs because they all move in tandem. We can go over the Qs if you really want to look at this, but we know we prefer them to go like that. Doesn't make any sense. We just prefer to go to the NDQ, NDX, and that if anything, well, that's a delayed one, so let's go to NDQ. We're not really seeing anything all that different, right? We're basically seeing, again, it's a different structure, slightly larger, so the structure is going to look different, but the overall implication of what you're seeing on the indicator is identical. And of course, relative price, if you're looking at the triple Q, it's far more smoothened, right? You don't have some of the abnormalities of this. It doesn't have the same extent of movement as this does. But at the end of the day, it's all the same old story. We are moving into very bearish territory. And get ready. Ain't gonna be pretty. Some say it's gonna be very temporary and everything's gonna be fine, nice and dandy. Don't worry about it. I say, you do you. This is not financial advice. I'm just showing you what is up and what I see. Alrighty. I'm always here, just quiet. Alex, you don't have to be quiet. Feel free to speak and, participate. That's the whole shtick of the community. But thank you for making your voice heard and letting me know that you are here as well. Do you see anything different? We said no. Welcome people. Make sure you're liking the smash and the bell in the ring. Christoph, you're a legend. Thank you. Ticker Dal. We want to see Dal? Let's do Dal. Why not? Let's do Dal. Dal. Let's see. I think we just looked at them recently. I think. What is G Delta doing? Oh, Delta was definitely closing these gaps, so you're good, at least on that front. That makes a lot of sense why it would have wanted to correct that high. So you probably that's a simple one. That's an easy one. I mean, you're obviously testing resistance here, which was resistance floor da da da. So you're pretty much there. It's probably a narrow range as well, something akin to, like I say something akin to this, right? You're gonna get like a narrow range right there. Let's make it a little bit more visible. That's not the bottom line is rather certain. The top line is not really, but I would argue that it's probably there, from what I can tell, because it's suspiciously. You can see the test of it. I mean, just to kind of show you, right? Boys and girls, don't eyeball anything on your own charts. I'm kind of good at this, kinda, right? Sort of. But it's not because I have a sixth sense. It's because I'm actually physically envisioning the tools that I'm. Yeah, it's basically I am. Yeah. Anyway, so there's and that's it. That was that. So you have there a level. No surprise that we are in the level. And if we want to look at this objectively, what do you have? You have you. It says exactly pretty much what I'm saying, that you have a little bit more momentum to squeeze right here into overbought territory, probably retest it again right before you break with the rest of the market. That is Delta for you. Let's actually just make sure about Delta. Yeah, you're definitely going to test that resistance, and you're definitely going to break down from this resistance. Whether it's going to take you a little longer than usual, and you're going to be able to penetrate some of these levels. User is going down. Yeah. Going down. Yeah. Or rather, you ain't going down. They going down. So you better be prepared. So, yeah. So, like I said, basically you are testing this whole thing. And I would not be surprised to see if you're going to test it all the way into the wedge if given time, which probably, given the fact of the matter, what is that? That's, wait, no. You're going to start seeing side effects. Well, that is... not that straightforward. Yeah, I just kind of went bananas there. For a brief moment there, I got lost. I thought I was on the different time frame. So yeah, you're still gonna squeeze out. You can see that here, but then that probably gonna put you into that negative wedge right here. You have this beautiful thing. Market likes these. That kind of creates a minefield, a diagonal minefield. To be more precise about what I'm trying to draw here, because my stupid ass can't draw for, to save its own life. So yeah, kind of that. Yeehaw. Many yeehaws right there. We're going to be riding this territory. Oof. Alrighty. Francisco, good to see you. Hi. Hello. Next level. What you saying? I'm in the only one who got just black loading screen. I think so. Crazy now via VPN works the stream. What? Next level, I think I know why that is. Remember, wait, I mean, I don't want to say anything, but if I remember correctly, the region you're from, it might be blocking my region on purpose. So it might be actually, it is what it is. Thank you, Greg. Exactly as I'm thinking. Alrighty. That's no, it makes sense from the indicators and the time that we still have some movements to the upside, but on the grand scheme of the thing, it does not look great. There's like the bigger picture. More so, we know well, in general, things like not just airlines in general, but it sort of the vastness of the market does not affect only the things that are not intended to be affected by them, or vice versa, work like a pulley system. Everything else is going to be affected. So once it happens with everything. And it's not all that surprising that we're seeing this on the various assets from and the various sectors, regardless of the lack of correlation between the sectors. I don't know, but I'm not going to be surprised. Next level, of course, we can try and look at this. We see what the headlines are showing, what the if the technicals were sort of hinting at the same thing. But hello, like Bono from U2 in South Park. What a great episode. What a great episode, Francisco, man. You just made me genuinely have a good laugh. Thank you for that one. Yeah. Bono from South Park. Great episode. Mm, great episode. Those who know. Uh, I'm sorry. Okay, so we were. I mean, I have my assumptions. Probably what happened. I think it probably correlates with the whole bullshit story that's running right now. You know, with the Democrats trying to say that Trump somehow had some correlation with neo Nazis and like again misquoted him and all that blah blah. And I think Kamala Harris is again pushing the narrative of him um, inciting the insurrection on the Capitol and which is not true. It couldn't be further from the truth. And there's a lot of evidence that shows that actually the people who were truly rioting and breaking through the fences were actually Democrats in disguise that were actually in cahoots with the police there or something, or there were actually police because there is footage of them, bumping fists and stuff in the corridor and all being unhandcuffed, and like there's a lot of suspicious evidence that shows that these people were basically more leaning to the Democratic side, if anything, or in cahoots somehow, just cooperating somehow with the whole thing. And the conservatives didn't do anything. They just, did a stroll through the building and went out. In fact, if you look at the footage, the doors were open for them. So the whole narrative really, once you watch the actual footage, then the whole narrative breaks down within 4 seconds. It's such a travesty that people even believe in that and use that as an excuse. It's something that I take very personally. If it would have been something justifiable, I would have been the first in line to say, yeah, Trump effed up, the conservatives effed up. But the sad reality, it has nothing to do with them, right? It just literally, it's just sad. It's all the left. So there's that. Yeah, I mean, so let's look at this. I mean, I still promise you we're going to look at it regardless. We're going to look at it in a more objective point of view. Maybe the boys and girls here can tell you more of the headlines and the reasoning, but I tell you what I think, which that's not a very technical thing, right? This popular Trump trade may have ran its course, at least for now. The strategist says, yeah, I thought there are plenty of companies that start with strat, so yeah, just thought I wanted to make sure. Trump media stock tumbles as Musk Harris make elections waves. Okay, I mean that's a weird phrasing, weird wording, but DJT rally affects this threat. Okay, so Barron's.com. Okay, so DJT short squeeze could push stock to $60 if Trump wins, but analysis says loss could make share worthless. First of all, I don't think the share will be made worthless. I was kind of trying to process. I don't think the share will be made worthless no matter what. There are a lot of Trump supporters who will see this as a safe haven platform, basically, and more. I really, actually, DJT has like a rather bright future. I gotta admit. For example, by the way, I mean generally speaking, if you think about it, narrative wise. But that's a speculation. For example, if we look at the 1 hourly, that already looks like we're squeezed the bejesus out of this bearish momentum, which makes sense because we made it to the top of the channel, bottom of the channel. And now we're about to move to the top of the channel, which gives us what? 60-ish area. Wink, wink, surprise, magic, right? Again, I'm not being too accurate. It could be more like this, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. You get the drift here, right? More so we can squeeze more out. That's with Trump winning. And I do hope and pray with every fiber of my being, not being a religious person, that Trump wins. Trump is not going to be my president per se, but he will, in a way. Why? Most of us who are more objective people understand the influence and the importance of the US on the global scene and being the leader of the free world, given that it will be potentially Trump, giving the relationships between my country leadership and, well, I'm more specific, but you get it, and with Trump himself and generally the conservatives, um, for various reasons, I see that as a good thing. And people who dislike my political point of view and dislike my channel because of it, feel free to leave. I'm not, that doesn't, if that's what you want, I'm not definitely not going to get offended by it for sure. But I do see the importance of Trump being elected. And I do believe that if Trump will get elected, DJT will go far further than just $60. How immediate will it be, or how rapid? Of course, I'm not expecting it to, go crazy immediately. It will probably take some time, but on the grand scheme of things, I do think that DJT does have quite a bit of potential. Not just because of Trump, but because of what it's meant to be. Okay? The story here is far more valuable than the technical analysis. And I'm not even kidding. Especially considering the political landscape that you have in the US right now. So, given the technical conditions, you definitely have a lot of space to go. I would argue that if you drop probably to this median, which is the bottom of the smaller time frames, longer range, which gives you about the $35, which is just about $5 lower to where we are already. But so the downside is far lesser than the upside. You could argue that we're gonna revisit the bottom of this channel, which resides at around 16. In case of him losing, could definitely be a scenario. Not gonna lie, us being so overbought and moving towards convergence and divergence here just depends how strong or weak this is. The problem with this asset that it's rather new, if you think about it, so we don't have enough data to really build off of and say, on the larger scale of things. But I will tell you this is rather bullish, unlike what you see on most other assets, if you noticed, on the monthly chart, right? So it is far more bullish than it's bearish, but remember, not straightforward. Okay, that's DJT at face value. But I do like the story. I do like the story of DJT, and that's where the true value is, in my opinion. Not, yeah. We want to do hood, all right, Leo? Let's do hood. Why not? Give me just a sec. Let me just go over the good afternoon, everyone. Damien, good to see you. Damien the legend. Damien the legend, I hope Walters. Right, I already missed that, right. Could be sometimes in the whole situation here. No, I get it. Next level again. No offense. I totally get it, and I'm happy that you even make it every time, and you're not going to these political places that a lot of people go to. And I really appreciate your participation in the channel. Tremendously do. Damien, it's all a show. Yeah, I guess it is. It is, in a way. It is a big show. I mean, you've seen Robinhood opened up. You can gamble who's gonna win, Kamala or Trump. This is just there are realms to which we're gonna say it is truly a show, but even if it is a show, or maybe even if it's partially a show, I want to make sure the director of the show is a good director, and in this case, I prefer to have Trump. That's my own personal opinion. If somebody doesn't like it, boo-hoo, get a helmet. Life is tough. How to find the bottom to enter again. Next level. That's such a great question, and I will say this. Oftentimes, people end up catching a falling knife, and I would argue that if we're gonna be smart about this, truly smart, we're not gonna try and catch a falling knife. And remember, whenever we truly hit the bottom, it becomes suddenly very clear. You know how you're gonna know we were hitting bottom? Suddenly everybody ran out of money and they're whining how they wish they had more money to buy. Right? That's gonna be then. When everybody's telling you how they're buying, that's probably not the bottom yet. You know what I mean? Well, when everybody will suddenly run out of money, right, and we're pretty low, that's probably it's probably a good place to start DCAing. When everybody run out of money, this is when you need to start DCAing. That's the sad reality. When everybody done cutting themselves on that knife, and the knife has fallen on the ground, and we can clearly see it's on the ground, pick it up. It's gonna be. The fun thing is when when the bottom actually occurs, we somehow all are in agreement, and suddenly the bears, the bulls, are everybody on the same page, and we all agree that it's the bottom. You know what I mean? Suddenly, you'll know. Next level, more so. Don't forget, we're probably gonna be talking about it right here. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I hate the request, but we're gonna do it anyways. I'm just gonna tell you. Oh, the U.S. nation, can you also vote? No, no, no. I'm not from the U.S. I mean, next, I'm Israeli national. Just I don't have any. I don't have any citizenships other than Israeli one. So it is what it is. I wish I could vote. I wish I would definitely vote for Trump. Without even thinking about it twice. I would pre-vote. I would make sure my vote is already there, waiting for the election. Exactly. No, but Kamala. I mean, no. I don't know if she sniffs people, but Biden does. That's what I always say. Smash the like, or you will wake up at night realizing Biden, hovering above you and sniffing you to death. That's usually what I say. Christoph, thank you for very much. What a legend, bro. What a legend. Thank you so much. Well, yeah, yeah. You'll wake up and you're going to see big nose, right? And Biden is sniffing you. So that's what it's going to be. So you need to smash the like. Otherwise, Biden will know where you live. How do you seriously... I don't know. Right now, it's so problematic. I really hope. I don't know, but I can tell you what I hope, right? That's going to be the more objective thing. I'm keeping hearing Harris, but I seriously think it will be Trump, and not only because I want that. You see, Mike, I really want Trump to win, right? So I might be biased. And I'm just going to say this. I mean, Mike, by now, I try to be as objective as I humanly can. No biases, I truly hope it's going to be Trump who wins. Do I know Trump? No, no one. I don't know. I really don't know anyone who knows for certain or can give you more of a certainty about that's why we're looking at Hood. I see, Leo. That's why we're looking at Hood. I hate them so bad. They're the epitome of the garbage of the industry. They're the dumpster. They're the dumpster that you have all the dirty diapers in the industry. I hate that. I hate that place. I hate this company. I'm not a fan. You can get mad. You don't like it. Like I said, get a helmet. I should have named my channel "Get a Helmet." If you don't like it, get a helmet. Grow up or get a helmet. We're gonna look at it in a second, so don't worry. Christoph, yeah, Christoph is a true brother. He knows all my weird jokes. So yeah. Or when the last perma bull gets bearish. Yeah, yeah. The signs will always show themselves, and we will have no doubts about it. Yeah, yeah, Leo. Now I see exactly why you wanted to. Let's see, let's see. I mean, we all understand this is a casino over a casino, a shitty casino. But shit. I mean, this is hard to ignore, but this is people are so, oh my god, so much money is gonna burn. Oh my god, so much money is gonna burn. Okay, now I see. I forgot about this altogether. Right. So there's plenty of people that are aiming here and plenty of people that are aiming here. Why? Both are crazy. Both are will show you examples like Palantir and say, well, Palantir did it and other companies did it and all sorts of things. But no, it's a trick. It's gonna be more of I mean, I don't know whether it's going to be exact. The trajectory I'm giving you right now is very hypothetical, right? But it's kind of ish, right? It doesn't matter whether it's going to be this, or this, right? You see this, the idea that knowing that this potentially is going to happen is far superior to not knowing. So you do whatever you want with this. Again, not financial advice, but yeah, I'm seeing how this is running out of momentum and slowly deteriorating. And yeah, that doesn't surprise me altogether. Remember, these picks don't have to match. It's not a drawing. It's not a architecture engineering thing, blueprint. Yeah, thank you, brain. Thank you for cooperating from time to time. So basically, yeah, I mean, it does seem like you have a little bit more. You see, I'm showing it via putting the line slightly higher, maybe testing that wedge. Of course, we're not crazy. We understand the market can do some crazy stuff right here. Basically, do that wonderful wedge right there that I'm trying to show off right there. This sort of thing. Sorry, like this. More or less, if anything, it could be actually similar to what I drew originally, funny enough, completing this process and eventually giving way to all that bearish unpleasantry that is in the works. And yeah, so get ready, get ready. Helmotory. Yes, absolutely. We here, and I will write in the description, here you get your helmet tested. That's what we do. We test your helmet. So, I mean, look, the signs are clear. It's not like it cannot run a little bit further. And with Trump or Kamala winning and the whole thing, they're probably going to benefit one way or another from the whole thing. So, I'm not that surprised. Them reporting is not necessarily indicative or conducive to them just, dropping the very next day and not correcting. So we still have time. We know the system has more time in it. We have tomorrow. We have all the way to election. Maybe we're going to start dropping before. Maybe we're going to, you see, you're already correcting. Like, you see, the market is, more so, this is already a gap. The market doesn't like gaps in most instances, right? I mean, I haven't checked out Hood in a while and how it gaps behave recently, but if we rely on technical momentum purely, it seems like you're far more likely to close this and in fact go higher before you actually go lower, right? So, and we're starting to see this on the vast majority of assets, right? Because they broke low abnormally quickly, so now they need to correct, find sort of, common ground, if you will, and then move forward from that. And if we look over the hill, over the fence, whatever you want to call it, it looks mainly more bearish than bullish. Can we send Justin Trudeau to Israel? No, Damien, we don't want him. I don't wish him on anybody. So I say let's just send him to the moon, to the sun, somewhere we can, he's going to hurt less. But yeah, I totally get that request. You guys definitely just need to storm the fucking, the Canadian Parliament and just throw him into the garbage bin, basically. This guy is insane. He's insane. I've heard some of the shit he's saying. The dude is insane. He's crazy. He is legitimately freaking crazy. And he's one hell of a hypocrite. I mean, honestly, he's like a Hollywood star level hypocrite. No shit. Like, this is just insane. The dude, I wouldn't trust him with a freaking lemonade stand, let alone with the country. Let alone with a good one like Canada. Sorry, I really like Canada. It's a bit cold, but I really like Canada. Canada, come on, warm it up a bit. Canada, Canada. It's an awesome place. It's an amazing place. I wish I could go visit on a whim and go enjoy the outback. You guys have amazing. Like, your nature is phenomenal. Like, it is incomparable to some places. It's exactly the sort of nature I really would enjoy tremendously. Like I said, very cold, but phenomenal. Again, incomparable to. There are very few places that I would compare them to. Sorry, fanboying over Canada. I do like Canada, Canada. Great place. I do have a warm, fuzzy place for Canada in my heart. Alrighty. I think we kind of ran through everything, right? I mean, I think we haven't missed anything. There's not anything all that interesting on any front of anything that's why I didn't go live yesterday, by the way. Those who wonder, there was just nothing to show. I mean, everything we spoke about and predicted in advance, the same old levels we're familiar with. Yeah, some knee-jerking behavior, but it's such a nothing burger at the end of the day. So I didn't even bother going live. So if you guys see me not going live, it might be because of whatever, busy maybe, still a human being, let's not forget. But honestly, there was nothing to report on. The market was just not really doing anything worthwhile and wasting everybody's time to get together and whatnot. By the way, those who are members of mine, members of the Patreon, this week we're gonna have the weekend we're gonna have a hangout. And yeah, so again, I hope we're gonna have a hangout. I will, of course, inform you as we make it towards the weekend. It's gonna appear in the investor segment. The way to join is $10 a month in the Patreon, and you get to enjoy this and many more calls, like the Zoom calls with Tom and I, and a whole bunch of cool stuff in the community. That's it. Boys and girls, I think we're going to adjourn this. There's not much to talk about. I think we ran through the tickers. We're all good at this point, I would say. We had some fun, I hope. Had some good jokes here. Definitely had some good laughs. I tremendously appreciate the time, boys and girls, and again, your dedication, right, to this community, to these hangouts we do. And yeah, I mean, they really, I'm not gonna, guys, you have no idea, it really helped me go through that process I was going a couple of weeks ago with my cat passing away. Don't forget, I still do live in a war zone a little bit. Yeah, I know. So the tremendous support of the community, like, no joke, tremendous help. I'm so tremendously appreciative of your participation and being here. Like I said, that's it. Let's adjourn this. I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. You all have a wonderful evening. We're gonna probably hang out tomorrow, see each other tomorrow, whether it's on the live or on the Discord. But yeah, one way or another, see you. Join the Patreon. Come and hang out with us. Ask me questions. Otherwise, I don't know to answer them. Don't just show up and wait there quietly. Show up, talk to me. Don't be shy. We like all questions. We don't mind repeating the answers. It's all great. Greg, I hope there is peace soon and you stay healthy. Yeah, next level. I'm not gonna say it. Peace does not depend on us, brother. We were not the ones to wake up one morning and go do some crazy shit I'm not even gonna talk about. We are all about peace. Trust me, our people here, the youngsters here, would prefer to go to college, university, and have fun and party instead of going to the military. Straight out of high school. That's not a fun thing. I can promise you. I've been there. Not a fun thing. Anywho, but yeah, let's talk about it not here. See you, boys and girls. Have a good evening. Bye bye. Hey, Leah. Good to see you here as well. Bye bye, y'all. See ya.